Hi everyone, Angie here with Forever Young Homestead, and I told you I am taking you guys along with me as I check out potential places where I would want to move with my family and start over living off grid. Why we're looking into West Virginia as a possible place is that West Virginia has a lot of mountains just like Vermont. No, they don't have the peak foliage season like we do up here, but a lot of the areas, they are surrounded by mountains and they have a lot of hiking and a lot of outdoor activities similar to what I'm used to in Vermont. The other thing is they do have winter down here, but they don't have snow like we have in the north. And my husband and I have grown up with snow and we get multiple feet of snow. Now, I will freely admit, I've lived in New England my entire life and I've never gone skiing. And the same is true of my husband. Now, I've gone snowshoeing, I've gone sledding, and that is a lot of fun. So the first state that we are potentially looking into is West Virginia. So why West Virginia? Well, I live in Vermont, and West Virginia actually has a lot of mountains similar to Vermont. And no, I know West Virginia doesn't have the peak foliage season like we do in Vermont, but they have a lot of hiking trails, a lot of outdoor activities. They have a lot of rivers, and they also have a lot of hiking trails, waterfalls, a lot of things that I really like in Vermont, they have down in West Virginia. And property taxes. In Vermont, our property taxes are high, and a lot of it goes to education. About 85% of our property taxes go to our local education system. In West Virginia, you can get about 100 acres and your property taxes are going to be about $600 a year. Yeah, not per month, a year. With that said, though, I know the economy in West Virginia is not the same as it is in New England. I realize that. So I am also starting to research what type of careers or what is the job market like in West Virginia, because yes, I have previous veterinary experience, so I might have to draw on that as a potential career path coming down here. My husband works in logistics. He's worked in logistics his entire life. So I'm starting to research what is the job market like, what is the average pay like. Those all factor into deciding to move to a particular state. The other thing is, yes, education system. And I know New England is known for having a high quality education. And I'm not saying West Virginia can't provide that. I just need to look for myself. What is the public education like? I do have children with special needs, so I do have to take that into consideration. And the other thing would be homeschooling, because that also is another option for my children. So I'm going to look into the public education system and just see for myself what it's like. So West Virginia definitely appeals to my husband and I because we would like a lower cost of living. But like I said, the economy needs to be factored in. Just because it's a lower cost of living, that also means your income is also going to be lower as well. So we definitely have to factor that in. But for us, since we already live off grid, we live in the mountains. We actually have a really nice view of the mountains, and I know that probably won't be realistic to the area we're looking at, but I like being tucked away in a rural area. I don't need to be close to town or close to a city. I prefer being up in the mountains. So West Virginia definitely provides that. My husband and I already know how to live off grid, so we can take that knowledge and that skill set and reapply it to wherever we land. And another reason to move to West Virginia is because my husband and I have friends that also live off grid, that live in the area that we're potentially looking at. So that will definitely be an added benefit because we could help each other out. And it's always nice to converse with others, even if you live near them or not. Like when my inverter crapped out, I was able to say, hey, this happened. What do you recommend doing? But my husband and I already know what we want to do with the land. Obviously, we have livestock. We have chickens and goats. And we may want to get more livestock, potentially cows. And we definitely want to do a pick your own berry farm on our homestead, because that would be a way for us to generate revenue for our homestead. And not only would we benefit from it, but also the local community can benefit as well by getting fresh berries right from our homestead. And if you guys are looking at moving at another state, I highly encourage you to go visit that state, check out the local towns, see if it'll be a good fit. Look at different pieces of land. Even if you are just window shopping, you'll get a sense of, okay, do I like this area? Does this land have potential for what I need to go off grid? You usually want to have a source of water as well nearby. How easy or difficult is the land to excavate? If you are planning on building a tiny house or a regular house, what does that land look like? Is there potential for where you could put a homestead? All of these things need to factor in. So I would not recommend just buying land sight unseen. You actually want to visit the area or states just to make sure that you think it would be a good fit for your intended purpose of living off grid. So that's in part of my visit. I am going to be visiting my friends down in West Virginia, but I'm also going to be doing some window shopping and just get an idea for land in that area if I think, okay, this definitely could work. And I'll have the expertise of those that have lived in this area longer than I have, and they could also provide input. And that's really valuable to me because I'm not in West Virginia all the time. I'm not sure what it's like to live here long term. The other benefit of looking at West Virginia for us is for winter. In Vermont, we get a ton of snow, and I'm middle-aged. When I was a kid, I loved the snow. School days, right? Canceled school. However, now that I'm in my 40s, getting up and plowing a driveway that's nearly a mile long does not thrill me anymore. It's a lot of work. We have to get up super early just to get it done. And the winters are getting harsher and harsher. And I will freely admit, I've lived in Vermont my entire life, so has my husband, and we have never gone skiing at all. Not to say that we wouldn't enjoy it. It is just a very expensive sport. A lot of out-of-staters will actually flock to Vermont and they will ski. They'll come on trips for skiing exclusively. So there's a lot of tourism there, but for locals, yeah, there's locals that go skiing, but there's also locals that don't go skiing. So for us, having a lot of snow, that's not a deal breaker for us. So I realize West Virginia does get snow, but not the amount of snow that we get up north. But I'll take you guys along and I will show you parts of West Virginia and show you why we are potentially looking at this state to move to. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date while we are going on this adventure. And you guys, if you're curious, living off grid, moving from one state to another, starting over off grid, feel free to follow along because I am taking you guys on this journey with me. All right, everyone. So, made it to West Virginia. We had a really good time. It started around 4 a.m. this morning, and it is now almost 4 p.m. It's 3:40. A little chilly. It's about 60 degrees out, very windy. It was raining earlier today in Vermont, so, but view over there. It's gorgeous with all the mountains. So this does remind me a lot of Vermont, the beautiful mountains over there. So I'm now off the interstate, and I was last in this area about 4 months ago. So I don't want to claim I'm an expert at it, but I am starting to get to know this area a little bit better. You can see there are lots of mountains, lots of hills. Actually, the turns here as you're driving are a little bit sharper than they are back in New England, but like this terrain doesn't bother me at all. It is very pretty. Like I said, it does remind me of New England. It is bigger than where we live currently, so definitely have to take that into consideration. But it is the first week of October, actually second week of October, and it's 65 degrees out, which isn't too bad at all.